Good evening, dreamers, romantics, and seekers of truth. Welcome back to the sanctuary of celebrity storytelling. Welcome to Mr. Magazine. Sometimes, the most monumental chapters in life are written not on prepared stages or in press releases sent by publicists, but in the transient, chaotic spaces of our lives, like a busy airport terminal. We often think of airports as places of departures and arrivals, but today, we are talking about a different kind of arrival. We are talking about the arrival of a miracle. Özge Yağız and Gökberk Demirci, a couple whose love story has been whispered about, celebrated, and scrutinized, have just turned a routine vacation departure into a historic milestone. There are moments that redefine a relationship in the public eye, and we have just witnessed one. Before we unpack every tear, every flashbulb, and every trembling word of this shocking announcement, I need you to join our growing family. If you want to be the first to know when history happens, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell. And for those who want to walk the red carpet with us every single day, I invite you to click the join button. Your support allows us to be there when the news breaks. Now, let's travel to that terminal where everything changed. The setting was the departures terminal. A place usually defined by the frantic energy of travelers rushing to their gates, the drone of announcements, and the impersonal hustle of transit. Into this chaotic environment stepped Özge Yağız and Gökberk Demirci. They have always been a couple who preferred the quiet dignity of privacy over the noise of scandal. Their vacations are usually escapes, retreats from the glaring lights of fame. As they walked arm in arm toward the security checkpoint, the initial plan seemed to be one of deflection. They wore their usual elegant smiles, the kind that are polite but act as a shield against intrusive questions. Reporters, sensing their presence, swarmed with the usual barrage of inquiries, expecting the standard no comment or everything is fine. However, the observant eye would have noticed a subtle fracture in the routine. There was a trembling energy in the air, a vibration that didn't match the casual nature of a holiday trip. It was written in the way Özge's hand tightened around Gökberk's, a grip that sought strength and reassurance. It was visible in the way her eyes darted around the terminal, not with fear, but with the weight of a secret that was becoming too heavy to carry alone. The couple walked with their characteristic composure, but then, in a moment that felt scripted by destiny, Özge stopped. She didn't just pause, she arrested the motion of the entire terminal. She looked at the faces surrounding her, the journalists with their microphones, the curious travelers with their luggage, and she made a decision. Turning to the reporters, her voice steady but laced with profound emotion, she uttered the sentence that would dismantle the dam of silence, "I guess there's no point in hiding it anymore." Can you imagine being a traveler just trying to catch a flight and witnessing this? It sends shivers down the spine. This wasn't a press conference, it was raw, unpolished reality. Why do you think she chose this specific moment to reveal it? Was it the pressure or just pure joy overflowing? I would love to read your psychological analysis of this moment in the comments. And if you are feeling the emotion of this story, please hit the like button to show your support for the happy couple. At that precise second, the bustle of the terminal seemed to evaporate. The rolling wheels of suitcases stopped, the chatter died down. It was as if the world held its breath in anticipation. And then, she said it. Two simple words that carried the weight of a universe: yes. I'm pregnant. The reaction was instantaneous and electric. The flashlights of the cameras didn't just flash, they erupted in a rapid-fire staccato, illuminating the couple in a halo of white light. But it wasn't just the press who reacted. Passengers who had been mere bystanders suddenly became part of this historic narrative. Applause broke out from the check-in lines, people pulled out their phones to record a moment they knew would be trending within the hour. It was a rare instance of public warmth, where the barrier between celebrity and civilian dissolved into shared human joy. The announcement moved the press, certainly, but the most poignant reaction came from the man standing beside her. Gökberk Demirci, the handsome actor known for his stoic charm, saw his composure melt away. The pride on his face was raw and unguarded. Immediately after the words left Özge's lips, he turned to her, not as a co-star or a partner, but as a father-to-be. He touched her shoulder with a tenderness that spoke volumes, pulling her into a heartfelt embrace that shielded her from the chaos while simultaneously celebrating it. He then added his own voice to the chorus of joy, formalizing their new reality with a declaration that came straight from the heart. "We are very happy, it's something we've dreamed of for a long time." The intensity in their gaze as they looked at one another, a locked stare that excluded the rest of the world, proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that this was no publicity stunt. This was the genuine, unadulterated joy of two people embarking on the greatest adventure of their lives. Something we've dreamed of for a long time. That phrase suggests they have been planning this quietly while we were all just speculating. It makes their previous silence seem so much more meaningful now. What kind of parents do you think they will be? I see Gökberk as the protective, doting dad and Özge as the calm, nurturing mother. Give me your predictions in the comments. And don't forget, exclusive stories like this are supported by our Join members. Consider becoming one today. Naturally, the press, having recovered from the initial shock, had questions. Was this a spontaneous outburst or a calculated reveal? Özge, her face now relaxed into a soft smile, clarified the timeline. Actually, we weren't planning to say it so soon, she admitted, revealing the impulsive nature of the confession. But keeping it a secret is getting harder and harder. Besides, we wanted to share our happiness with everyone. It was an admission that joy, like light, cannot be hidden under a bushel forever. Gökberk, squeezing her hand as if to anchor himself in this blissful reality, added, "Every moment you're with me is a miracle." He framed their upcoming vacation not as an escape, but as a threshold. "This trip is a new beginning for us," he declared. The symbolism was potent. They were leaving as a couple, but in spirit, they were already traveling as a family of three. As they resumed their walk through the terminal, the transformation in Özge was visible. The tension of secrecy had been replaced by a radiant peace. She addressed the rumors that had been circulating in the tabloids, the baby whispers that had filled column inches for weeks. "Yes, I'm not hiding it anymore," she confirmed, validating the intuition of her most dedicated fans. "This miracle growing inside me is the most beautiful fruit of our love." The impact of this news was seismic. In the digital realm, social media platforms exploded. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok were inundated with waves of love. The sparkle in Özge's eyes and Gökberk's proud stance became the defining images of the day. But the joy was not limited to the public sphere. It was rumored that Özge's sister, Özge Yağız, had been the keeper of this precious secret, eagerly awaiting the moment she could celebrate openly. Her subsequent social media post, titled "Our Hearts Swell," confirmed that the families were not just accepting, but ecstatic. Gökberk's family, while more private, reportedly celebrated with unwavering support, surrounding the couple with a fortress of love. Even amidst the emotional revelation, the fashion critics found something to praise. Özge's style was dissected and adored. Dressed in a loose white shirt and pastel-colored trousers, she struck a perfect balance between comfort and elegance. The relaxed fit was now reinterpreted not just as a fashion choice, but as a maternal embrace of her changing body. Fans raved about her natural glow, calling it the pregnancy radiance that no makeup can replicate. Of course, practical questions arose. Özge is known for her dedicated volunteer work with children battling leukemia. The press wondered how this new chapter would affect her philanthropy. Sources close to her were quick to reassure the public that while she might adopt a quieter schedule for health reasons, her heart remains with the children. She will not abandon her causes, she will simply advocate for them in a new way, perhaps with even more empathy now that she is preparing for motherhood herself. And then, the inevitable question about marriage. Are their wedding preparations underway? A reporter shouted over the din. Gökberk paused, offering a moment of reflection. He looked at Özge, and with a wisdom that prioritized life over ceremony, he replied, "First, that our baby is born healthy, then anything is possible." It was the perfect answer, grounded, mature, and focused on the well-being of their child. Gökberk was also asked about his readiness for fatherhood. His laugh was hearty and infectious, breaking the solemnity of the interview. "I don't know if I'm ready, but I'm really looking forward to it," he confessed with charming honesty. I'll know everything when I have Özge by my side. As they reached the boarding gate, Özge turned to Gökberk one last time before vanishing into the jet bridge. This vacation will be great for us, she whispered, a promise of rest and connection. They left behind a terminal buzzing with conversation, a media landscape forever altered, and a fanbase reinvigorated with hope. The plane has taken off, carrying Özge, Gökberk, and their little miracles to a destination unknown, but the shockwaves of their announcement are still reverberating here on the ground. A surprise confession, a tearful embrace, and a promise of a future wedding, it is the kind of story that reminds us why we follow these stars. Now, the speculation shifts from are they, to when, and what name. We will be here to cover every development, every baby bump photo, and eventually, the birth of this celebrated child. But I want to hear from you. What do you think they should name the baby? And do you think they will have a secret wedding while on vacation? Let your imagination run wild in the comments below. Please, if you enjoyed this comprehensive report, like this video and share it with every Yemin fan you know. Make sure you are subscribed to Mr. Magazine, and if you want to support our channel's growth, click that join button. Thank you for watching, and may your own lives be filled with as much unexpected joy as we witnessed today. Goodbye.